and talk as individual so that we can know, because we don't want to get associated with somebody who was involved in malpractices at KEMSA.
Now, meanwhile, still on corruption, and Nakuru human rights defenders have this morning staged a protest march to Governor Lee Kinyanjui's office over alleged misappropriation of COVID-19 funds at the county level. Now, Alan Ochanda tells us more. Alan Ochanda, good morning. Kindly bring us up to speed with this demonstration.
Have actually begun at the railway station and were slithered just through the Nakuru town, and the human rights defenders were to give their memorandum to the governor. Of course, they have already given to the officers representing the governor, but are on their way to give their memorandum to the RC, that is the regional commissioner, George Natembea, here, just some meters here, the buildings here. They were dispersed by police officers who hurled actually tear gas onto them, so they are actually dispersed. But remember that the alleged corruption at KEMSA that has now formed political fodder on the political stages are now turned into protest, where the human rights defenders are now piling pressure on the president and the authorities, of course, to ensure that there is accountability in the usage of the fund. They are saying that their memorandum, the contents of their memorandum actually include the itemized. They want to be furnished with the itemized list of how the COVID money was spent, and actually just saying that they are raising fears that the government will be starved of cash because of course, remember that the billions have been gotten from the donations abroad, and so they are saying that the bad name painted of the country due to the alleged corruption at KEMSA may just give the country a bad name and just deny the country the billions in donation. And so their journey here to the RC was actually cut short, and they are saying that they are still on with their quest to ensure that the monies are accounted for. So one of the human rights defenders has also been apprehended by the police, and we're also just about to make our way to the police station to see as to how whether charges will be pressed against him or not. But also remember that as the Nakuru human rights defenders just staged demonstrations here in town, there is a notice that is in force from the KMPDU, the doctors' union here in Nakuru, who have actually served the notice of strike, 30-day notice of strike to the county governor here. But remember that the governor and the CEC Health here, Dr. Zachary Kariuki Gishuki, had indicated that they will be holding talks with the KMPDU, of course, the doctors' union, to ensure that they just hold talks and iron out the issues that have been raised in their strike notice, so that they could just avert the looming crisis and ensure that the patients here, or rather the residents of Nakuru, are not served to a strike. But Brenda, it's a story that we're still keeping an eye here, because remember that yes, the human rights defenders have been dispersed, but we've been talking to them. They have said they will be regrouping, but we are just about to follow them to see as to whether they'll be regrouping and ensure that they serve the RC, George Natembea, with the memorandum. I've also talked to the RC, George Natembea, and he's indicated that yes, he has witnessed the demonstration, but he cannot comment on it because as at now he has not been served with any memorandum, because the police dispersed the human rights defenders. And so we are waiting as to whether they will be serving the RC with the memorandum, and so that we could hear from the RC himself. But remember that it's not only Nakuru, but we've also been just told that also we have a planned protest of a similar kind in Kisumu. And also remember that those that were witnessed in Nairobi last week were dispersed. But also remember that in Mombasa they are slated for a similar protest tomorrow to just pile pressure on the government to ensure that the COVID billions are accounted for.
It's good that you're having human rights activists to hold demonstrations to call for accountability. We had one last week, and same thing that happened in Nairobi is the same thing that has happened in Nakuru, dispersing, the activists. But what has the Nakuru County Governor Lee Kinyanjui said about this misuse of public funds when it comes to COVID-19?
By the time they were just presenting themselves at the gate, at the main entrance of the governor's office, that is just some meters away from where we are standing here, the governor had not actually shown up, but we had some officers who represented the governor. But remember that the governor has only been giving statements and indicating that in Nakuru County, they are willing to ensure that they talk to the KMPD, of course, the doctors' union, and also ensure that they furnish residents and, of course, the country with all the accounted books of the how how the COVID billions have been used and utilized in this county. And so, of course, he's speaking on behalf of Nakuru County, but he has not really addressed the media, but giving statements. And also the CEC of Health, Zachary Karuki, has also given statements just indicating that they are willing and they will be giving those statements that have already been accounted for as to how they use the billions that have been allocated to ensure that they cushion residents against their pangs of COVID-19. But Brenda, it's a story that, of course, it's early in the day, and we shall be of course, calling the governor and see as to whether he'll be willing to talk to us and just give his side of the story, of course, because, of course, the claims that have been raised are against his county government, of course, the county government of Nakuru. And so he is the authority here, and we shall be giving him, of course, the chance and the opportunity as the right of reply to see as to whether he's maybe just giving the accountability or not.
Alan Ochanda, thank you for that developing story. Planned demos that are supposed to hold the county government of Nakuru to accountability when it comes to utilization of public funds.